I just didn't have.
Yeah. Shut up, guy.
No, you.
No, man, it's the jokes.
Oh, I know.
That's the lyrics to the song now. Shut up, guy. I'm gonna have to get Jackie to send me that as a sound clip. So
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, and welcome to another meeting of the Appendix N Book Club. Tonight, we're going to try and talk about A Princess of Mars. I need to close this freaking door because apparently it's piano practice time for the little guy. He's getting really good.
Yes. So I need to get him to send me that sound clip so I can add those lyrics to it, so you can accidentally play.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I'll try not to forget that. So how you guys doing tonight?
It's funnier when you actually
pretty good.
Forget.
Glad to hear it, DK. I was kind of bummed that you weren't feeling so good. It's like, man, you gotta be in here, man.
You get the stomach flu?
Yeah, it's just work just kind of took it out of me. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what that's like, but I feel for you. It's been a long time since I've actually done a lick of work.
I'm at work right now. The joke, DK, is that like I work from home.
Oh, nice.
And I do most of my work on live stream. So
that must be nice. But then again, it's
sitting right here.
Retired. Just saying.
Yeah. I like living a life that's almost like being retired, but still getting paid.
I still get paid.
Look,
don't get me wrong.
Look! I play with my scissors.
Okay, that's a neat trick. Never seen anybody do that.
Well,
I'll add that to the list of weird things I've never seen people do.
I'm just moving the thing with myself.
So
I'm gonna go run. I'm prepared for running around now.
Okay, you're a weirdo. Because and a liar. We all know you don't run.
Yeah, I'll waddle.
Shuffle would be more appropriate.
Shuffle. Is that what you're getting at, man?
Like this.
Oh man.
I taught the penguin how to walk. Okay.
Yeah, I was literally thinking about Danny DeVito as you were saying that.
You know, it's funny. Danny DeVito is one of Jackie's all-time favorite actors for some reason, and you know, I know he did see the Batman movie with Danny as the Penguin, and for some reason he just thinks that's the greatest thing ever. And I just don't freaking get it.
No. Tim Burton's just weird. You know, I long hold true that Batman and Robin is the greatest Batman film ever.
Kick him right now.
Yeah.
Really? I'm gonna go with either the Michael Keaton first movie or the greatest Batman movie as yet to be made.
No, I don't. I'm not a particular. I'm not a big fan of those two films, to be honest. The only good thing about that is Jack Nicholson. So it's like the Christopher Nolan films. The only good thing about those trilogy was the Joker. Once he was gone, that was it. Shake your head all you want. You guys are just haters. You need to have some fun with your films.
Yeah.
I recommended multiple times Real Men. That alone shows that I do have an absolute sense of
have you seen Real Men? Dark Knight?
Never even heard of it, so
yeah, you need to go. You need to leave right now because you're both got the wrong Batman views and haven't seen Real Men. Go.
No.
Check it out. It's one of the reasons I like it is because a friend of the family was in it, but the other reason is
Jim Belushi.
No, John. It was just such a
not your family.
yeah. It was just a goofy movie that at the time when I first watched it, I honestly had never remembered laughing that hard in my life, and I managed to get it on cassette. And anytime I was down, I would just throw that in and cheered right the frick up.
Mm.
So speaking of cheering up, what'd you think of the movie? The book so far, guys.
That was good.
I finished it. It's the second time I've
Listen to it.
read.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but it's been close to like a half a dozen times I've read this book. But I've never actually made it to the end of the series. But this time, for some reason,
so I went to go look for it, right? Because I didn't like the copy you have on YouTube, and I have a Audible account, which is good because for the last hour of the book or a little more, I had to bump it up to 3 times speed, which you can't do on YouTube. So it fit into a half hour.
Yeah, admittedly, the guy we that I sent out that particular video, his wheezing started getting to me, and I thought it was me. I'm like, what the? That's not me, man. That's not me. I thought I was bad. I smoke like 2 packs a day, and this fucker's like, he's on a machine or something. I was just like, what the hell? I mean, he's got a decent voice, but if they would have cleaned that up, thankfully when I sped it up to
filter that shit up
1.5 times, it kind of eliminated some of that. But certain little noises can sometimes really kind of trigger me a little, I guess, irritate me. Trigger isn't really the word because
if you have an Audible account, right, you can get free books from it, and the first three Barsoom books are available for free.
Yeah, but see,
you have to have an Audible account.
So but the thing is I know all these eye patch hook wearing peg-legged motherfuckers that
I couldn't get mine to come in on time, so I went there, and obviously once you click on thing, and I already have that account, so right. But for some reason they only have the first 3 books on Audible. They don't have 4, 5, 6, and 7.
What's number 2?
I think it's Gods. I'd have to go back to it.
Okay. I've got them all. I can look it up too. I thought you might just remember. But that was one of the things when I was listening to this. When I got to the end of this one, no, I'm not going to spoil it for you, DK. But the cliffhanger was such that I'm like, shit, I don't remember what happens next. Mind you, I've read the second book like 3 to 5 times.
I'm going to ruin it because he should have finished the book before.
Well, no, obviously there's more books, so it's not that bad. But I don't remember, and I could see, watching the movie, having watched the movie a bunch of times, like more times than I've read the book, that, I kind of know what stuff they were pulling from the later books to put in the first movie. You know what I'm saying, Justin?
Yeah, I know that they shouldn't have done that.
No, but I mean,
the story from the first one.
Yeah, because there were a whole lot of things that happened in the first book that really should have been in the movie, and things from the later books didn't need to be in the movie. If they would have left it the way it really ended, that would have absolutely made it so much more likely that they had done a sequel, in my opinion. Because the cliffhanger, mind you, there was a bit of a cliffhanger in the movie, and it's kind of the same one, but it's not. It didn't have as much of an impact. I'm like, oh shit, man, where am I going to find the time to put the next book in my busy freaking schedule? Because now, not like, Amber. Amber, I actually did listen ahead. With Elric, if I never read another Elric book again, I'll be fine. Not bad, but I'm just like, okay, this is like the 4th time going through it, and I know how it ends. And
you're going to read them all in the next 5 years. Anyway.
When you get through it, you'll understand. When you get to the last story or whatever of Elric, you're like, oh, I guess I won't be reading this ever again. Because it's like you don't need to unless you forget. And mind you, it had been a couple of decades since I'd last read Elric, and I'm like, yeah, I know how it ends, but let's go at it from a little more of an adult perspective and see if I see things differently. And of course, I did, but not in a good way. It was like, yeah, some of this is kind of
dark.
Well, not just dark, but
Like
just depressing. Just depressing, you know. I don't want to read a book and get depressed. Not that it's easy for that to happen, but you know, I'm going there to be
sometimes
entertained, not looking for, you know, to be bummed out. You know, I mean, if I want that, I'll read Stephen King.
Yeah, Stephen King isn't always depressing.
No, I know. It was just I hate the guy, so I just say that.
Yeah.
But Dark Knight, I guarantee you, you'll dig it. Just do yourself a favor and finish this book later.
I will. I enjoyed it enough. Like, I wish I had finished it before the stream. It's just I was in such a mood, and I realized, because I don't watch stuff at times 1.5 or times 2 speed normally. I prefer the standard speed. Had I thought to do that, I might have finished it in time.
Yeah, I had to do that, or I wouldn't have.
But I got distracted this afternoon, so
1.5 is really not that bad. I noticed that at 1.5 speed, it was like because I was like, dude, hurry up already! You know, these long pauses and these breathing.
I will say we have a celebrity. We have a celebrity lurking in the chat. Hey, Father Aaron.
Oh my God! Sorry, guys.
Hey, Father Aaron.
Sorry, I was. I didn't have the chat on, guys. Bob's Burgers, welcome to the show. Felix, long time no see. Dungeon Minister.
Wow. 1 second. Do I have to pull up an advertisement?
You can. Dungeon Minister, thanks for being the bad guy in OGGM's game last weekend. That was hysterical. The fact that he pulled you out of the hat to be the bad guy was just it was really funny. I was not expecting that. And I've got your package here. I just got to get my butt to the post office.
What did he send you?
No, I'm sending him something that I know he will dig. It's just, it's the first of the month ish, and I haven't been to the bank, and I got to go to the bank first, take care of a couple things. Then I'll be able to get it out this weekend. That's the plan.
It actually is amazing how often I've heard stories of people just giving stuff away to each other in the hobby. Like, I remember Robbie McHugh sent me for free the basic, the expert Mulvey set, and like 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 second edition books. Yeah, for nothing.
That's the kind of people we are. You know, a lot of people, you know, could easily just throw that on eBay and make $500. You know,
there's a 6 hour and 42-minute sale on this shirt. So,
okay.
If you want to get it quick.
And then that image is brought to you by our good friend Felix. He hand drew that all by himself.
Nice.
With passion and blood
and gusto.
And human entrail.
But just as a side note, though, Shadow, I finally got all the books in the Amber Saga. I have them all.
I saw that. I'm proud of you. They're great books. I'm going to be honest, though. The second series, and I need to go through the second series one of these days soon. I did not enjoy it as much, and it seemed very much kind of. I'm just going to say confusing. Yeah, it was kind of confusing and almost like he was just half-assing it. I hate to say that about my good friend, but it was just like, it could have been because I was young and I rushed through it because they were actually coming out as I was reading them, and I could have just
Well, that's probably why they have Will Wheaton read them.
Joe, just something that's going to make you a bit depressing, though, Shadow. Speaking of, since we're going to go before we get into the actual thing proper, Stephen Colbert is actually going to do a Chronicles of Amber TV show.
Thank you for ruining my day. No, I've actually heard that before, and You know,
They're not going to do it right. They won't be able to do it. Not a hope.
Here's the thing.
Well, what's his name? The lead character will be played by Edgar Elba.
Edgar Elba.
Ezra Elba.
I have no idea who that is.
Did you see the Dark Tower movie?
Nope.
Omen, I was in the back room.
All right, get your ass in here, Omen.
Hey, Omen.
What's up, Omen? Don't know who it is.
Well, you said Idris Elba. He was.
I don't care what
played
his
in The
name
Wire as.
Oh, Idris. I was wondering, was it Idris Elba or what? I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Figure out saying it wrong, man. Just that should be an assumed thing.
Just take. Just assume that's the way it is.
Fair enough.
And that I'm right.
With other stuff. That's the whole point.
It's possible that the movie won't suck, but
it's not a movie. It's not a movie. It's a TV show. That's the thing.
It'll be a Netflix thing.
Okay.
It's HBO, I think, if I remember correctly.
Here's the thing. Either they're gonna try, or they're gonna try to ruin it.
Okay, I'm gonna bet you anything. It's just gonna
get your ass in here. Hurry up! Come on.
It's gonna be another money laundering scheme.
That's
it. How are you, Omen? Anyway.
Producers. Well, I'm going to be heading out around 8 because I need to do my exercise for my knee. But otherwise, pretty good.
Okay. Well,
I recommend mescaline.
I don't.
Well, we're on YouTube.
I just recommend that people go around their local friendly cows and just find things growing out of the crap, and they'll be okay.
Well, we're on YouTube, right? And we want to get Shadow monetized, so we got to talk about
this is the exact way you don't do that.
Have you seen Joe Rogan?
Yeah, but he already had a fan base, dude. He got on Spotify, so he's an untouchable.
Well, it's more than that. Joe Rogan just doesn't care at this point.
Yeah.
Well, what's that news guy we all hate?
All of them.
Dude, to be way more specific, dude.
The YouTube one that they keep shoving down everyone's throat.
Are you talking about Ted Uger or
no? He probably talks about mescaline too. No, the new one that we were talking about the other day, Shadow. His name is escaping me. You said you watched somebody that he was on his show, and then they kept sending you.
Oh, Lex Friedman.
Lex Friedman. Lex Friedman also talks about mescaline. And he's fucking monetized, and he had no pre-existing fan base.
Yeah, I don't know how or why people find him interesting. He is literally the most monotone, boring voice out there.
I don't really care. If I don't watch him, I don't care. I don't have to comment on it.
The only reason I have feelings about it is because his videos kept showing up in my feed nonstop, and before I knew how to turn them off. And even then, like, I'd be watching a video, and then it would end, and then it would go right into one of his videos, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, the autoplay, yeah, you disabled that with us taking down in the corner.
I had to do that.
There's a browser plugin called Channel Blocker, and it works on just about what?
Yeah, I took care of it. I'll never see him.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless,
okay, so
he's on somebody else's show.
A PSA to the audience and everyone here. Channel Blocker is a plugin you can plug into your browser. You know how those work. You can Google that if you don't. And it adds a little X by the name of the channel, and you click it, and you never see that channel again.
You can also click on YouTube where it says hide channel.
That doesn't always work.
It works
hitting don't recommend this channel. It sometimes YouTube will just say, we know we told you don't want to see this, but you're really going to see them.
Well, that's probably because they're paid by someone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where the plugin says "fuck you,"
you know what?
This is on a blacklist.
I have locals for the people I really want to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
That is very true. That is very true.
Or Rumble, or one of the other places that YouTube hates.
Odyssey,
and I can select which channel I want to go to, and weird places like this, So
yeah. That's very true.
And I've already got film noir with Justin there, and then we have and then we just have Shadow.
The two faceless wonders.
Right. What's up, TCG? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
All right. So I'm going to hit up I'm going to start with you, TCG. Did you like the book?
Excuse me.
Yes and no. I got mixed feelings because like literally about the first 2/3, 3/4 of the book, I could like almost just completely skip if it wasn't necessary for the last bit of the book to make sense. But I loved the last bit of the book. It just, I don't know what it was, but the last bit, it just hit home for me.
Airships.
Really like.
It was the airships.
Yeah, that's probably. But
it's fair.
But
that's fair.
But overall, it was definitely better than the movie. So yeah, I liked it.
Okay. I love the movie. But
the movie's great, but it, like we said before, everyone showed up. It forces too much of the second and third book in the movie.
It took too many liberties for what I wanted. Yeah.
But movies tend to do that.
The actress was so mid, if not lower mid, compared to my imagination or compared to what I've seen in the real world. She's just like, I guarantee if you put like every female actress, like on a database and gave me like 30 minutes, I could have found 10 better.
Well, hold it.
You mean
how was
IMDb?
she in acting? That's the big thing. Is I'm just like.
That's why I said actresses, assuming they've acted before. She just doesn't have that look. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but you're saying looks. I'm saying her ability to actually act.
She didn't really. Well, here's the thing: the character in the movie is very unlike the character in the book. The way she acts, there was none of that. I had found myself.
In the book, she, like as we just read it, she's kind of haughty and
yeah, I know.
But she's also sweet.
Sweet, yeah.
You could feel. I mean, John Carter's a lunkhead. He doesn't know what she's saying. You know what I mean? She loves this guy, but she's not allowed to, do anything about it. But you could just tell, and he literally has to be hit over the head with a board, so that he's like, oh, cool, we're good. The whole time he's thinking, it's just him. But she's showing through subtle signs that he's missing, but us, readers, we shouldn't be missing. And the actress in the movie doesn't show off any of that. She's just like, it's just like a pragmatic decision she makes at the end of the movie after another pragmatic decision. It's like, you don't feel that she's, like head over
heels.
Thank you. Yes. She's not even, she's like, all right, fine. This will work. It's going to be him or him. Fine. I'll go with this guy. It's not just.
Okay. Let's talk about
well, let's say
Dark Knight, bro. Are you redecorating in there?
Yeah.
well, just mute yourself while you're doing it. Is what he said.
Please.
There's one thing about the movie, I should say, I liked over the book, which was the one scene where Tars Caucus, whatever the hell his name is, when in the
mute yourself while you're moving shit, bro.
Yeah, come on,
I'm fucking dead.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
That's how we're communicating. We can hear you.
All right.
In the movie where you have the two airships that come in and fight each other, the book, it's just one airship that gets shot down. I prefer where the two ships fight each other because you get a little bit more action from Carter, and two, Cars Caucus, whatever the hell is it, the main leader goes, I bet on Caruso, or I bet on whatever the hell is. I in my head for some reason I got Caruso. Every single time I see that scene in my head, it's Caruso. I know his name's not Caruso, but that's what I keep hearing in my head. But anyway, the scene in the movie where he's like they're betting on who wins the fight, and then now he's in it, and then they bet on him. That would have been a better scene for the book.
Yeah, they just kind of rushed through that in the book. It's like they're there, then it's done without it being written at all. I don't know.
So how about you, Omen? Did you like it?
Well, I'm going to mention a few things because I have to also remember my 10-year-old self that read these books, and then I re-listened to them probably within the last year. And so the very first thing I liked, which I hadn't seen in science fiction before, is when he comes to the world and he learns that he can jump and things like that, which is like, oh, you're actually putting in that Mars has a lower gravity, which I thought was important for science fiction, especially that time. We're talking in this is what, 1913 when the book was written? Almost
1912.
So almost no one talks about that stuff at that time.
Right. There were a couple other things, not just the gravity, but the number of hours in the day and the miles away. You had to do some actual research, which in 1912 might or might not have been exactly, a walk in the park to go to your local library and find that specific information if you were living, in a little podunk town.
So there was that aspect. I did.
Yes and no. Sorry, but back then people were far more well read.
Yes, but the information wasn't as readily available. I mean, that's part
unless you picked up a science periodical, which he could have easily been subscribed to.
Right, but from what I understand about Burroughs himself, he wasn't that kind of guy. So he had to, and the fact that he thought, he was able to figure out that I'm going to need these little tidbit, these pieces of information. How long is the day? How many miles away is it? And he might have been wrong on that, but I know he's right on how many hours in the day and little things like that, which also probably led him to the canals and things like that. I thought that was, admirable for what was otherwise, a very
well.
I don't think he was a very well-read guy at first.
I don't know. Back then, like Justin said, a lot of people were well written and well read. I mean, even if you read the stuff from Robert E. Howard, who was in the middle of nowhere, effectively. But the point being is, these are the things that I liked from the book when I read it as a child, because none of the other science fiction books I read really brought that out. Oh, you have different gravities, unless they were like new. But if you look at this, a lot of the stuff from the time that Edgar Rice Burroughs did until probably the 1970s, very few people actually mentioned a lot of the. I mean, they did it here and there, like Heinlein and a few others, but most of them, it was just a reason for that. That was one. Let's be honest, this is really a trilogy where they go up to Warlord of Mars. This is the first of the 3 books. If this one did well, then we're doing the other 2, which I thought which you don't quite realize until after that. I think this was written in a periodical at first, wasn't it? Before they made it.
I believe so.
So of course he has to keep them in there. Right. So, yeah. I mean, did I like the book? Absolutely, especially for the time because it was so different compared to everything else. Yes, I know everyone says, "Oh, it's based off this or it's based off that," but
I can't imagine what it could be based off of.
No. I mean, like Star Wars was based off.
Oh, absolutely.
Flash Gordon was based off.
Not based, but highly inspired by it.
Right, and that's what I mean. But for his stuff, it was unique enough that I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And really, I started with book 10, which was what Land of Gathal or whatever book 10 was. Yeah, I got that from my 10th.
I think 10 is actually Warlord of Mars.
No, book 10 is not Warlord of Mars. That's book 3. Was Warlord.
Yeah.
Book 10's either Thuvia or Lana. One of those 2.
Are you sure it's 10? It only says 7 on Audible.
Okay, no. What I'm telling you is when I got the first book of the series, I got book 10, which was, I can't remember, I think it was either Land of Gathal or Thuvia of Mars. It was one of those 2.
I've got them right here.
Yeah. But anyway, my point was I got that for my 10th birthday. I enjoyed it so much. I then went into the little bookstore we had, and I bought, 1, 2, 3, and I read all of them through there. And later on, I'd read all of his Tarzan stuff as well. So
you read all the Tarzan books?
Like 26 of them, something like that. Yeah, I read like all 26 of them.
Good on you, man.
Impressive.
I made it through about 5 of them, and then I started having a hard time getting them all in order. So I still need to, get some, but that's a heavy dose of reading.
Well, let's be honest. That was over like 5 years. It wasn't like I just read it over, But yeah,
Audible says there's
11?
7 of them, but
7 of what? The John Carter of Mars style?
Yeah,
book?
but
No. If you actually look at it, I think there's 13 of them. But
it says 11 on
Wikipedia.
okay.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, but that just means that's what's there. You actually have to go look on like Wikipedia to see all the books.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I said on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
They say
Anyway,
11.
my point being again is that I started off with 10 and then I went backwards to go back and read all the others, and I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the whole idea of Mars. I enjoyed, even if you look at like when we talked about like Dark Sun, you can tell Dark Sun is inspired so much by this. I love the fact that they had.
It's got to be the number one influence.
But I also love the fact of I love the Green Martians with the forearms and the tusk and the height. It was like, oh, okay, these are completely
and no one did it better than Michael Whalen when depicting them.
Oh yeah, I love his art. Even though I love Frank Frazetta and I know he did similar, but it was not nearly at the same level.
John Whalen's art was a little more, a little less abstract. Michael Whalen's is very,
his
like
is super colorful. Yeah, but I'm saying, but I love Frazetta, and Frazetta did that as well. But Whalen just blows him out of the water for these. But again, and to be fair, so like you said with the Michael Whalen books, I remember going in there, of course, the almost bare-breasted women, and I was bringing them to 4th grade.
The way it should be. That's the way God intended.
I
don't know what happened.
Now,
and I had teachers come over, and they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't be reading that." And I'm like, "That's okay." My parents are like, "That's fine. You're reading something from like 70 years ago." It was.
I'll tell you this because I just looked up the actress.
Something Collins or something like that.
Yeah, Lynn.
Well, she was too old for the part. Is part of it. I hate saying that. She was almost 40, I believe, when she did it.
No,
she was not in her early 20s, which is part of it. Anyway.
No. But the point is, like, I look at her like without the outfit, like in like a swimsuit or whatever, and she looks much more attractive. And I think it's the outfit they put her in and all the tattoos and shit. Right? Instead of
okay. We're talking about the book, damn it.
Yeah, but fucking.
But
I brought it on. I brought it on. So Justin, let's start back at the beginning. Favorite character?
Well, it's gotta be John in this
okay.
case.
Okay.
Right?
I think everybody would probably agree to that. I should have worded it. Other than John, who would be your favorite character?
Green Martians.
There were a lot of characters.
What was that dog called again?
Hula?
Yeah.
See, Tars Tharkas was my favorite. I liked him much better than John Carter all the time.
Really? How about you, Dark Knight?
My favorite character?
Besides
skip. Yes, skip over me while I think about that.
Um,
okay. TCG.
Don't get me wrong, John Carter was a good character. I loved him as a character. And he was not he was weird, contradictory. He was smart and dumb at the same time, but not necessarily that too dumb for my taste, which is I'm glad for. But anyway, as a character, I love him. But I'd have to say my favorite character through development is Tars Tarkas.
Yeah. I love the fact of whenever I want to play characters, I love having the forearms, and he was the master swordsman when he was out there. He was loyal, which is what I really loved about him in the other 2 books. When he was there, he was going to be there thick or thin. I mean, he was if you wanted any better friend, you couldn't find better than Tars Tarkas. And
I'm going to disagree because I agree with Justin. Woola was my favorite other character. It was so, and they did a great job in the movie, but everywhere else, I'm like, where's the froggy features? He had those froggy. That's how he described it. Was the frog face, and I'm just like, okay,
basically a demon frog with the description I got.
Right, a 10-legged demon frog.
10.
And the way they showed him in the movie, how fast he could run. That was such a fun part for at least my family. When we went and saw the movie, everybody in the audience was just dying with laughter every time he came on, and it gave you that, even though in the book it was something different. You know what I mean? It was, if you've ever had that one dog, or that one pet, it was like, I mean, think of all the stuff he went through. undying loyalty like I've never read about ever before. I mean, going across the desert for hundreds and hundreds of miles, following his scent, which is amazing, or whatever, or psychic, whatever, to be able to find him and to do all the things he did, all the times he saved his bacon, all the times he was there and did exactly what he was supposed to, for what? For a pat on the head.
Well, and that was one thing that John Carter talked about is like, with the Green Martians, how he taught them to treat their animals better and they perform better. I thought that was interesting. It was one of those.
Oh yeah, it was. It showed. It gave everybody literally a growth arc. You know what I mean? What's Justin showing me here? Oh, look at that! Look at that face.
That still looks
I'd have to say that
frog to me. That looks like
it looks like a bullfrog or maybe something like that, right?
Or maybe a giant. Have you ever seen?
I'd have to actually. It looks like a pug.
Or
it's got pug looks to it. You're right.
Yeah.
I'd have to say that is actually better looking than what they described in the book, and I don't mean like looks wise. I mean literally, that is not ugly enough for what was described in the book.
It's close enough.
Yeah, but it does. I think anything else, you got to remember when it was Disney and they didn't want to be scaring any little kids. I guess back then they didn't really want to scare kids. Now they feed off that literally. And this, this face. I mean, just look at that.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a face only a master could love. But yeah, I mean, then of course Starkiss's daughter, what was her name, Sula or whatever.
Sula.
They gave the back history of it as well.
Yeah, I was actually
it's
going
not
to say
always
Sula.
the same. But yeah,
I was actually going to bring up Sula as my. Sula was great.
Another great tragic character that had a story arc that you're like at the end you're like wow, it's kind of touching with thinking of living, what was she like, almost 900 years old or some junk, hundreds of years old.
She was one of the younger ones compared to I'm
just like thinking about her frame of thought was I can't wait to die to end this misery for that long. I'm like, there's this invention, it's called rope. You know what I mean?
well, do you remember when he got shot and then they were able to heal him right up? When he was almost going to be assassinated.
That was one of the probably the earliest instances of healing that I could think of, and it was so well done and not overdone like we all do it now. That I was just like, all right. He thought of that. He might have been the first person to think of that in science fiction, as far as I know, but. It was really well done.
I liked also the atmosphere purifiers. When they were the atmosphere purifiers, it's the one thing keeping the planet going.
Right, and he didn't need to do that. There didn't need to be that in the story. It could have just been fine. Everything's fine. There's air. Don't worry about it. But no, we're gonna go there and add yet one more constant danger. And as a prepper, we live by the 3 rule: 3 minutes air, 3 days water, 30 days of food. You go without any of those, it's over. And that hits like home with me. It's like, imagining, something worldwide that could just, there's no more air. All right.
Well, and he was the one that found out that, the one way to go in, and that set everything else out there.
For the next book.
For book 2.
By Dean Paul.
Which is why I like Tarkis, because he went in to follow him into the, what was it, that the Valley of the Dead or whatever it was?
Oh yeah, later on.
Well, but I think it was like the start of book 2, and he finds out everything. Then they find out that they're the white Martians, and by the third one, he finds out that they're black Martians.
And the yellow. And... What were you going to say, Dark Knight?
Oh, I was just saying goodbye to Dean Paul, but the one thing that I actually did like about this scene was
Dean, I didn't even see you here, man.
Yeah, the one thing that I did like about it is that it made me realize why in D&D Gygax had certain classes have to kill certain like basically the person who's next level above you, and it's from the scene where John kills one of the chieftains and they immediately say, oh yeah, now you're the chief.
I'm going to say as much is I also think it has a lot to do with kung fu films. Because those of us who grew up.
Oh no, in kung fu films you don't have to. With monks you don't have to.
Oh
no,
no,
you don't.
If you watch this stuff from the 1970s, that happened all the time.
In the monk class doesn't have to. The assassins and the druids do, but the monks, no.
No. I meant for the fighting aspect again. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The fighting. Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a very American thing. A student is not considered a master until he defeats his master. That's a very. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a very American way of thinking.
I think that's just a human way of thinking, because the Europeans, kind of think that way too. Unless you've done something that beats your father or your master, you're not considered like.
The rite of passage, I think, is universal. Different, plays on it. I really did think that was, kind of interesting. How simple it was for him and that world to. You prove yourself, you kill the dude, you get his stuff. And nobody argues. They don't touch it. They leave it there 3 days in the hot sun. It's still waiting for you to come and get it.
If you remember, like, when he gets the stuff, right, it's like they only own the weapons and personal equipment to a point, and everything else is technically
because it's a commune. Everyone in the commune has shared property, because they're a utilitarian society. They don't even have parents. So
that really took me out of the story, because I could really feel like he was commenting on politics of the time.
I'm going to mention one other thing. Yeah, but there's a difference.
Because it was early communist rhetoric going on.
I don't think that it was the communist aspect.
Well, I don't think like he was like countering that. Like he heard that and was like speaking against it. I got that voice from it beyond the voice of the characters.
I didn't at all. That sounds. What would this sound like to me was this is this kind of mentality of you don't know who your parents are, the shared commune thing. That's what a lot of warrior societies did in tribal. They just took a tribal society and blew it up to the size of an empire.
Yeah, I'm starting to be able to see both sides of that ideology, because if you're living that long,
property doesn't mean anything really.
Well, that means a lot.
No. Honor did. And I'm thinking, I think he was basing this more off like the Sioux and stuff. It's like, yes, you would get this over, but then you were expected to take care of everybody else. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at, that's what I'm taking from it. And I agree with you. Yes, your personal weapons are yours, but the rest of it is the tribes, and your job is to keep the, but it's
because the weapons are a status symbol essentially. That's why you got the armbands and the medal on your arm, basically.
Don't forget, we're not just talking about blades. They had, I guess revolvers and other, weapons.
Accoutrement, yep.
Well, I know. I mean, if you're talking about a mechanical weapon as opposed to a blade weapon, a blade, you sharpen it, you throw it to somebody else. But with a mechanical device, especially something that uses, ammo that has to be, loaded and all that sort of thing, you need to take care of it yourself. It's like you pack your own chute kind of mentality.
No. Yeah. But the swords were there. Remember, the swords were for. He was going off of the honor aspect.
Oh no! Yeah. I get.
One second, guys. Crafting wants to say something. What were you saying, Crafting?
Oh, I was saying those guns. As a Palladium player, my first thought was, I wonder if Kevin Sabina read this book, because those were a perfect description for mega damage.
Oh
bullets
man!
That explode and do so much damage, nothing can withstand it.
When I heard that those things had a range of at least 200 miles, I was like, "Holy ball bags! That is nuts!"
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they said it accurately. It was 200 miles accurately, and then 300 miles, and that's when it gets kind of.
How do you see across the freaking curvature?
They probably have scopes on them, I guess.
You don't see past the curvature is the point, and it was a much lower gravity. But his point. But I do like the fact of when they said he had the two types of bullets, the ones that were fired during when they would explode when they hit the sunlight. And
I remember that. That was in like chapter 60. I think they were talking about the women were crafting all the gear and shit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the radium bullets.
Yeah.
The radium.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I was just getting
radium. The raid bullets.
Let's kill the elephant in the room. The technology that he just pulled out of his ass.
The magic he pulled out of his ass.
I know, right?
But all of them have that. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's dilithium crystals or
but
strontium metal. Yeah.
But for 1912, you got to give the guy a little bit of one of these for the shit he pulled out and tried to. He tried his damnedest,
I'm just
colors
saying.
that he can't describe.
Look, Burroughs was inventing bullshit sci-fi gobbledygook before all you posers started doing it. Okay, he did it before it was cool.
Well, here's the other part though: is remember radium was a radioactive element, or that's radon. But they have, and so it was always trying to pull off on that. Is remember they used to have it where they're like, oh, drink this, electro, whatever, this radioactive water, and this will help your health.
Snake oil salesman.
No, hold it. Remember that they used to paint toys with radioactive stuff to make them glow in the dark? That was a whole different era before they do like all the negative.
I used to own a wristwatch.
Yeah.
And people
glue in the dark
that.
Really well.
Well, and that's why people forget about it.
Why do I have skin cancer?
Actually, you wouldn't get skin cancer from the radium dust.
I know, I'm being hyperbolic, dude.
Yeah.
What about the
they
raid?
hit their half-life.
I think actually Burroughs actually explained it better than the movie, The Ninth Ray, and all that nonsense. It was so much easier to just okay, sure.
I'm just saying, if we could get away with metachlorians, you can explain the Ninth Ray instead of going into stuff from the second book.
Well, and remember, 9 is also an important number for anyone that does numerology or whatever.
Yeah,
that's always important. Like, oh, how many do you have? It's like 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 10, 12, 40, 100. All are considered,
1,000 is another one. Yeah.
But this is where Omenau is going to tell us how he's really into numerology and that the Earth is going to end in 96 minutes because of the equinox of. And we really need to drink the Kool-Aid right now.
Most recent report I got was the world's going to end in 21 days. So
shut up! I'm trying to set Omenau up as a new Jonestown kind of guy.
No, this was the 70. No, I've been actually. To be fair on this, I was listening to the.
It's a lot funnier if you start walking around in a robe offering people Kool-Aid, bro.
Look! Just because you do that and you flash them in the subway doesn't mean I do such things. But no, the.
Look, Omenau is secretly the Heaven's Gate guy. Okay, he's got the hairstyle for it and everything.
No, he doesn't dress anthropomorphized enough or
fair enough.
Androgynous enough. I do see a man there, not a sexless beast.
I mean, they literally castrated themselves, so you got a point there.
But anyway, wait. But no, I did like the fact that he was going through a lot of the, if you actually look at like the book, he tries going over and explaining some of the stuff, and then he'll say, well, this was my uncle. I couldn't quite get, all the details in there. That was perfect, Yeah.
I just say that this is the best I could translate the word he wrote.
Yes.
For radium.
The helium and helium thing. I'm like, why didn't you just make it helium? I mean, for Christ's sake, you called the place helium. Why don't you just fill everything with helium?
Helios.
No, it's helium. It's literally pronounced helium.
I heard both.
I heard helios.
No, I literally heard both.
Yeah, they do, but it's called, the kingdom is called Helium. The girl is called, I don't remember her name, but she's of Helium.
Deja Thors?
Yeah, that's the one.
You know what? This is a fast way of looking it up, for the book.
I've got all of those, and I'll never run it.
I swear to you, I swear to you,
it's an RPG book. Please,
one at a time, guys. One at a time.
Yeah. No. It's to be fair, I'm beginning to understand better. But yeah, it's the Prince of Helium, Helium. Yes. So
why did they just fill the ships with helium?
because
And make it
radium
make
sounds so
sense.
much cooler. No, because they weren't. Was it lighter than air? I thought that most of them were powered, so it kind of works as an anti-grav thing.
Yeah, it was like the eighth ray from the sun that only they could see, and they filled it in the hollow spaces in the ship that kept it aloft.
That's cool. That's just cool.
Hey,
It's solar powered.
What's so well? No. I mean, you joke about that.
This is it. We've cracked the code. Burroughs was an environmentalist, and thus
Bye, Dungeon Minister.
Take care, Dungeon Minister. I will see you soon, brother.
Party on, Dungeon Minister.
And I know that you're not a big fan of it, but actually, the more I understand,
I like that format for
the books are gorgeous.
Sci-fi.
The books are gorgeous.
It's a pain to open up and hold because it's so big.
Put it on a table.
What is it? It's not landscape. It's
Modifius's
that's
2020 John Carter game.
Like I said, I'm beginning to understand it better. I just wish that they had concreted a little bit more. But anyway, no, I do love the. He does go over some of the history for it, and
that format of book is like traditionally used for ship plans and stuff like that, and that's why BattleTech used it originally. I like it for science fiction games. Like it gives like a flavor to it, but
I don't like if I have to read it because it's harder to use on my hands. But other than that,
I mean, if you're laying down trying to read those books, forget it.
It's supposed to be lying flat on the table.
Book on your face. Just saying.
It's supposed to be lying flat on the table.
That's kind of why I moved away from hardbacks in general and just get softbacks because they're just easy to lay out on books and hold.
But no, I mean they're well done. I know something similar with the Star Wars stuff. But anyway, the book I did enjoy. It set everything up for the next part. You feel like it suddenly jerks you out. Like, did they survive? And he says he spent the next 10 years trying to go back. And then you started book 2 and you'll make it back.
Now, I recommend you pull out the old hand tools and make yourself a book podium.
All right, guys.
The thing that's
I got another question for you.
Who was
your least favorite character? Start with Justin. Least favorite character.
John Carter. The narrator, Edgar Rice Burroughs, is just like the most useless pretense.
Yeah, I got to admit that was a little. They actually pulled it off in the movie a little better because they made him a kid, and because he'd already died. You know what I mean? They could retell it. You know, like it wasn't him. Like, oh yeah, I'm related to the guy. Just like, shut up. Just do it the way. Well, I can't say do it the way Lovecraft did it because Lovecraft hadn't done it yet. But just make up some other guy.
It's fine. You know what? The one I did not like the most was what was that female Clark that was like the one trying to flash the light in his eyes?
Oh, yeah, that for me.
Oh, but she was the antagonist.
Yeah, but there's some antagonists we all love, and there's some that we all hate. This was one I really hated.
She was just despicable on every single level.
You know, you hate a character because you're supposed to hate them, then you hate a character because they're useless. And I tend to go with the useless, but I get your point.
Well, I didn't like her because she was so nasty and she was so backstabbing. It's just like, okay.
Have you ever met a woman?
It's like I know that woman. I've met her. You know, as a matter of fact, I think she's my grandmother.
No! I thought she was your former attorney general.
Well, like you said, his grandmother.
How about you?
Anyway,
TCG, least favorite character.
I'd have to say the Tark Overlord, the useless Tark.
Mm-hmm. He was rather despicable as well. The guy who didn't actually go into combat.
How dark. Yeah, well, it's not just his cowardice, but I can see how dark the Tarks can get. I mean, they show that in the first couple of
minutes,
chapters. Yeah, first minutes, chapters, whatever. At any rate, but he was obviously worse than all of them.
Because he had risen to the top.
Yeah.
And then sort of defiled that position. How about you, Dark Knight? Least favorite character?
It's kind of a double whammy of the two people who fucked over. I think her name is the woman who looked after Carter. I keep see, this is kind of the problem where it's hard for me to remember characters' names because
they're so weird.
They're so weird and they don't stick. And when I can't remember a character's name, I can't remember the character.
It's the same one I was referring to, but that woman didn't whoever she was, that chief that she was trying to go with.
Yeah,
I keep thinking of Ahsoka, but that's from Star Wars.
Yeah. So Sola, I think her name is Sola. Like
Sola was a good one.
Yeah, Sola was
the woman who fucked over Sola and the guy that Tars Tarka wanted to kill. It's a toss up between those two because I think the guy who Tars Tarka wanted to kill was basically the guy gloating over how he was going to torture and defile John Carter's lover, and like that was like horrific. You know, it's just like, oh yeah, your people will weep for weeks at what I do to you. It's like, jeez, dude, calm down.
Yeah, that's the character I didn't like. Yeah,
that dude was like, yeesh. But you can tell that he was such a scumbag that even Carter was like, no, I can't be the one to kill you. It must be Tars Tarka. Like when you're so deplorable that you need for the scales to be righted, someone specific has to kill you. You know that dude's like not a good guy.
Well said, dude. That's so messed up when you think about it like that.
It's like when Superman goes, "I can't kill you, Joker," turns to Batman.
Yeah. And not only that, but I don't even want to get any of your blood on me. You're so foul.
But
when I heard that,
I did like about this is for the books it had that romantic nobility to it. Hey, you have to fight.
Yeah, a lot of books really since then failed in that sort of nobility and chivalry. The whether it be the Virginian gentleman or Deja's haughty nobility and even the Green Martians had this sense of honor and
it's a very romantic sense of romanticism of nobility, honor, and virtue and goodness to it.
We don't get even in I don't think any of the books we've read so far, and maybe it's one of the reasons why I like it so much.
Conan comes closest. Comes the closest.
Conan didn't care that much. Even Conan.
Okay. There was that scene in The Spider God where he was faced with the opportunity of basically allowing the guy trying to fight him to die, but he warns him, and this guy was trying to kill him. So it's like,
wait a minute. To be fair, that was what John, whatever his name, but that was not Robert E. Howard's. That was not Robert E. Howard's version.
Yeah, that's fair. But Conan is always like, even in the Devil in Iron, Conan would happily have risked his life to buy the girl time. Conan might be an asshole, but he's got integrity. He's got virtue and honor to him. He's just kind of rough around the edges about it. Well, he'll have no problems killing you if you piss him off, but he'll never kill you unprovoked. He'll never, unless you have it coming, he's not going to kill you.
I think unless you try to kill him first.
Yeah.
I see him being able to tolerate a bunch of stuff, but that's I've read a lot of Burroughs' work over the years, and every time he decided to write something. Now there's some books of his I haven't read, but everything I've read, all of the characters make me able to look up to them and go, wow, these are cool people. These, there's more to them than just the the one or two things. They have depth, like you said before, integrity. These are people, every one of them, unless they were, the bad guys. Cantos Can. I love that character, and the fact that he was played by uh, God, I can't remember his name. Purfoy or Purefoy, James Purfoy or something like that. The guy who played Solomon Kane. And I've seen him in a couple other things. I'm like, oh my God, that's Cantos Can.
Yeah, he was in A Knight's Tale. He played Mark Antony in HBO's Rome, I think.
He may be a scumbag in real life. I don't know.
James Purefoy.
Yeah.
It's the pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
But
Go ahead, DK.
What I actually respected about Carter and why I kind of warmed up to him is that the fact that he had the honor and the integrity to realize that Dejar was in a really awkward position when it came to romanticism. Like when he actually wanted to romance her, he understood that she's my slave for all intents and purposes. This puts her in a really awkward position. And it was inappropriate. And the fact that he no, I really can't romance you. It wouldn't feel real. Like you basically, I'm almost forcing. If I did this, I'd be forcing you into a position where you couldn't refuse me. And I kind of warmed up to him after that. When I saw that, I was like, this guy, he's actually kind of a decent guy. I kind of respect him for it.
Oh, he did a lot of things, and as you'll find out later, he's going to do a lot of other things. I wish you would have finished the book, but it's Burroughs is easily, probably my second favorite author. To be honest, he really is.
There's a lot to be said. When he set that. We look at Weird Tales and everything, which was, Cthulhu and everything.
Yeah.
But he really, when you look at, he took the old Western and then he put it into space. If you look at it, that's a lot of what he was taking from.
Well, not just the old Western.
Officer.
He was able to. He also was able to take a sort of Arthurian take as well. There was very, very much like a chivalrous King Arthur or Charlemagne-esque feel to all of, at least this story.
What I actually noticed is that the very first scene where he was talking about saving his friends from the Native Americans, and he's like, "Oh, don't mistake what I did as nobility or bravery, because I didn't even think about running away at the time." And I like that that's almost like a subtle setup, because because even if that were true, that you didn't think of running away, that doesn't really matter. You still showed bravery, right? And when he goes and sacrifices for the woman he loves, he could have run away, and yet he still gives his life for her anyway.
I'm going to mention one other thing too, which is, this was when science could do no wrong. That generally during this time. Because
people still think that, bro. People still think that shit.
World War I. So science was still seen as this great thing for everywhere. Yeah, they talked about it, but it was all the wonder and everything else of what the world could be. It was, very different than what Tolkien had after his experiences in World War One. This is still that time of optimism for science and how we can do everything right. And but I do like the fact he did a good amount of world building in this first book.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it's not a lot. It's not super long. It's what I think it was. What 180.
It really isn't, but it's got a lot of chapters, and that was throwing me off. I'm like, I don't remember there being that many chapters. When I'm listening to the audiobook, I'm like, oh my God, there's 28 chapters, and I still have 2 hours, 3 hours to go. I don't know if I'm going to make it. tonight.
I think I've told you this before. Chapters are a subjective thing. They're dependent on wherever the author decides to put a break-in theme.
What I was getting at, though, is so much actually happened. So, there was a point where I'm like, okay, you can end it here. You could actually end the book right here. But I know you're not, because I know there's...
I wouldn't be surprised if each chapter was an installment from when it was serialized.
Yeah. It was a periodical.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But exactly. But the thing is he packed a lot in each chapter. He actually made you feel like you were getting part of the world, exploring it with John Carter, because you weren't sure what was going on in certain
There were a
areas.
few times that the chapters were a little overwhelming. They were so packed with information.
Well,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily break it into two stories. One where he's with the Green Men, or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
And then
Tharks.
like the Tharks, where he arrives, he's with the Tharks, he leaves the Tharks. That's the end of the book, and then you can have it picking up from there.
But I mean, that would have only been. I remember reading this as a kid, and I think the book was only like 180 pages. It was a normal, novel.
Yeah, it's very thin. It's a very thin book. The paperback.
On Audible, the version I listened to was 7.5 hours normal speed.
Yeah, but even normal. That's about a 180 to 200 pages.
Yeah, I think it's only about 190 pages.
So I mean, and that was the size of most of the books. That's the same length of like Starship Troopers and a few of these others that were out there. That was pretty standard for the length.
I wanted to hit up on something you guys said earlier. When it comes to world building, this book beats them all. Everything we've read so far, except maybe Amber, but that was like you didn't have to build anything. It was just like, oh, I've got unlimited, so use your own imagination kind of thing. So that was kind of cheating.
It's not just that it's got a lot in world building. It doesn't do info dumps. That's the sign of a bad writer, right? You don't get like a 3-chapter description of anything, which some authors do, and it's like a sign of bad writing.
Well, I mean, he would talk about whatever, as he learned it is what he was putting in the book. Oh, the thought leave all of the children behind. And it would be like a paragraph, and then he'd go on with the story.
How you're supposed to learn a book through a character's eyes instead of the author explaining it to you.
Let's even look at the fact of how can I make the Tharians even more evil? Well, after Carter gets knocked out and captured and thrown into arena, what do? Hey, let's take 9 slave women, give them daggers, and have the dogs sicked on them.
Yeah.
And Carter can't even watch. But what I like about that, again, shows his nobility, again, through world building, that when he looks up, they managed to kill, out of the 12 dogs, 9 of them, or I think it was 20 dogs, they got down to 3 of them. He says the women acquitted themselves honorably, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it. Go for it.
No. I mean, I was thinking about that, but when he meets the White Ape in the.
Oh, that was such a cool fight scene. That was
And they talk about how many of the children were lost to white apes and things.
Yeah. Oh God, that fight with the White Ape, that power would have gone to my head.
Oh, the fact that, and I love it again, it shows how loyal the doggo was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
And then Carter, again, shows his nobility, this dog pleading with him. It's like, I can't, no. No. I'm not leaving this poor beast to its fate. No, fuck that. And then he just fucking beans the guy. Just caves their face in. And he does it twice. It was so cool. I love the fact that I'm going to throw this thing, and then what is it? He throws it and it breaks its leg, and I think what does he do after that? I don't remember.
Well, he didn't break its legs. He threw the stone, whatever it was that the creature had, basically stone club.
The cudgel, yeah.
He throws the cudgel, hits the creature in the legs, knocks it over. By the time the creature manages to regain its feet, he punches it in the gut, socks it across the jaw.
It was the face.
And when it falls down, he regrabs the cudgel and throws it.
Beans it in the head. Yeah. He just smashes its head in. Yeah, that was it. I think it howled in pain, and it waved open its arms to try to grab him, and then he bang, and then just caved its skull in. It was such a cool scene.
It's funny that I can't think of too many instances in fiction like this, especially from back then, where there's people that are strong, but this guy, like takes the cake for the time. You know how strong he is. Obviously, they played it up in the movie to a little ridiculous levels, but it's just
Well,
people didn't really think.
Well,
or
they
maybe
actually had that liberty. They had that liberty in the movie for one line. One line that said, I forgot I think it's by the nephew reading out of the book. Carter has no memories before the age of 35. Almost like he didn't exist before then.
Well, there was
therefore making his
like
origins unknown.
Yeah, but that was true of the book. But the other part was he all he remembers today, he was a cavalry officer during the Civil War. There was that part. But then the other
instead denoting that he was a Confederate.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. The whole he doesn't know how old he is. He thinks he's always looked 30. The sort of Highlander-esque sort of idea. Do you think they stole that from or borrowed that from this show or this story to create the Highlander?
I don't think so, because there's a lot of stuff. As much as we talk about John Carter and you talk about the strength, that's like the feats of strength by Hercules and a few of these others. When we start looking at a lot of the mythology, he's following that aspect.
Well, I mean, it's also, you can justify it in the fact that, remember, there's a lower gravity on Mars, which is why all the people on the planet are so much taller than him. Now, they're obviously bulked up and strong, but like, the fact that he grew up.
I thought it was only the Greek Martians that were bigger than him.
No, the apes were bigger than him too. I think.
Yeah.
The apes were massive.
But the humans, or the Martians, the red Martians, were actually smaller than
size.
Him.
Yeah, they were about his size.
He was exceptional, but the whole immortal factor, how he's talking, how they make it sound like he's an immortal, and then it turns out that everybody on Mars is also long.
1,000 years. Yeah, they live like 1,000 years or something like that. He laments that as well.
Sorry.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
What I got more out of it was the reason why he can't remember 435. Like in the movie, they took liberty because of that line, but in the book, I took that as he died in that cave.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering about that too. I kind of was listening to it today, even though Brazil's my least favorite movie of all time. I was starting to get that feel like, oh man, he's dead. He died in the damn cave feeling.
Yeah, he did. Of course. He literally had an out-of-body experience. He had an out-of-body experience when being exposed to uranium or poisonous vapors or whatever. He fucking died. He absolutely died.
He was put in suspended animation.
Yeah, I was took that because he sets up the tomb right when he comes back.
As well as when sorry to spoil this, but when he comes back to the cave and all his clothes fall off because they're crusty and 20 plus years old, if you left something out in the desert, even in a cave in the hot Arizona sun,
it's gonna crisp up.
It's gonna desiccate and just
and then like
sorry,
go.
I was thinking along that lines was because of the old woman. His clothes might have been there, but he wasn't. Like his body physically died. He was in one of those places that connect Mars to Earth, like they suggest those places exist in the movie. And now, he got transported back to life by this spot, and when he dies, he returns back to Earth.
I say he was suspended animation.
I figured he was there in that weird hands up pose, perfectly preserved and not moving. And that's why there were natives there, probably worshiping this undying, unmoving man.
And then 10 years later, he kept trying to look for a way to go back for 10 years.
And then maybe the environment of the place.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part at the end with the bones in the doorway and the old woman and stuff. I was like, I didn't.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's some call to native savagery, and they killed the
What's up, Derek?
they killed the warriors who disturbed the evil spirit in the cave, and they were trying to placate it with the bodies of the.
Look, I have a simple explanation
they were
as to
strung
what
up,
happened.
right? They were strung up in the cave.
I have a simple explanation as to what happened. Dorothy went to Oz, and then she came back. At the end of the day, does it fucking matter?
No.
Not really.
Here's the only
To
thing
me, it does.
It comes back to
that was a question that will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Sometimes some questions don't need to be answered.
Well, it's the whole, but the whole point was that he takes the 10 years to go back, and that's
right.
And then that's when he comes back. He finds out that he has a son, and a lot of other stuff that he didn't know that he had.
Right.
Which you find in book 2 and 3.
Yeah.
The gods of Mars, and then the warlord of Mars. So
it goes in that order.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's backwards.
Yeah, that's really weird.
They're plot points in the books.
Yeah, because the gods of Mars is he finds out who's controlling the one thing, and then on the third book is when they make him the Jedak of Jedaks, and that's what makes him the warlord of Mars.
Right, but again, that kind of does loop back to the whole level title stuff. I kind of like that. Like where Dean,
yeah,
the fact that D&D, as you progress up the chain of command, you get more and more titles. Oh, I really did like it.
It added flavor.
Me too.
It added flavor, so you could actually say, if you look at and this what always bothers me. Oh, it's just level 1. Level 1 says veteran if you actually read it for the first level.
Yeah, that's when I know D&D. Every fighter knows how to use every weapon because they are a fucking veteran. That's it, and that is it. But no, what else is that's what makes you a badass. Like if you're like a group of level 5 adventurers, and you go to the king's court, and you hear, oh, this is the court wizard, that means he's a level 12 magic user. You don't fuck with that guy.
Actually,
that's weird, Derek.
If you read the Dungeon Master's Guide, it says level 6 is a high level wizard. If you also read, what is it? Is it 6th level or 7th level? It says superhero for fighter.
No, it's 8th. Yeah. 8th is that hero is 4, and 8th is superhero. Yeah.
Yeah, and people forget about that. Well, how could he fall off so much? Did you not read the title? That's how he survived a 100-foot fall.
Yeah, because he's literally a superhero. It's like that. That's like I've even heard the reason why elves are immune to ghoul paralysis is because they can get to 4th level, which is incidentally the level that fighters become heroes. So you could read it that any time a character reaches heroic status, they also gain immunity to it. I don't know whether
I don't know where you would get it,
but it's an interesting interpretation of the rules that I've heard, and I might end up using it.
So hey, getting back to the story, I do have that gaming question toward the end. What's your guys' favorite part about this book so far? Start with you, Justin, again.
Stuff happened.
Wow, riveting.
There's got to be one scene that sticks with you.
I like the end when he rushes to the chamber. He's like, I figured it out. And he goes and opens the door.
If Mars lives or dies.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of surprised because that would have, like Omen said, I think this or was it you, Justin? That this was in the serial form, and that the real end was like the chapter before that, and this was like, a little snippet of book. This is. It seems like it should have been at the beginning of book 2, but at the same time, it makes you wait, which I also really like cliffhangers. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, well, you notice that there's always like a cliffhanger because they want you to come back for the next magazine, right?
Yeah.
So how about you, TCG? What's your favorite part?
Ooh. Yeah. That is a tough one. I'll say it's my favorite because it's one that keeps coming to mind. The scene where he ends up returning to the Tarks and saves Tars Tarkus, and Tars Tarkus goes, "Now, basically, I understand what friend means now."
Okay. Sort of a Kirk and Spock moment.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, TCG?
You just asked me.
I mean,
He needs a.
sorry. Thank you.
You meant me?
Senior, senior moment. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna
For me,
first.
the thing that kind of jumps out to me the most really are the fight scenes and really the descriptions of the weapons. Like one, like the laser guns, the especially there's one fight scene that I really like is the one where John gets stabbed, where he got stabbed straight through the chest and lived, but the other guy died. And it's like
he points out that it missed, like went through.
It went through soft tissue essentially, so he was fine. But it's still that this motherfucker is so lucky.
Well, that was the part where he was flashing in his eyes, and and.
I mean, he had this guy had just dishonored the woman he loved, so he wasn't exactly thinking clearly,
Well, it wasn't just that; it was the evil witch lady or whatever.
Yeah.
She was flashing in the eyes.
What a nasty, dirty, underhanded, sneaky, conniving, despicable
wench. Yeah,
You'll just have to remember that trick for the future, won't you, Shadow?
I mean, just if you ever run an Amber game, just if one of your players has a romantic interest and say, I don't know, Deirdre or Fiona insults her, what's a player character gonna do? They might just get pissed off and attack her, which is, well, that's a great way to kill a character, is all I'm gonna say.
How about you, Omen? What's your favorite part?
I like a lot of it. I mean, I like the very beginning because it was so different from what I'd read before. Mainly, I was only 10 at the beginning, but even going back and listening to it, when you talk about the phrase is, it's written at a higher level than what you'll find most books written at nowadays. Even though I read it at 10 years old, and I know that we're all talking favorite parts. Man, as a kid, I just gobbled the whole book up because I loved all of it. Oh, you're telling me that they're this. Oh, they've got here. Oh, I like the world building aspect. I like the fight scenes. That was probably my favorite there. I like the part where, he goes off to war against the other Tharks and gets everyone together. It has all the romantic aspects to it. What gets me is, and I know that I had this discussion with one of my players last Saturday, is as much as people talk about slavery, this book specifically has slavery. It does.
It's almost an anti-slavery message, really.
Yeah, but that's my whole point. And it also talks. But see, that's why whenever people talk about this, well, we got to remove it, and I went, but you remove so much that makes this stuff cool about the world and allows.
It's not even that. Everyone talks about how this book series is it has a lot of racist elements in it. I was literally thinking about this as you were saying this, Omen, and I was going into this almost half waiting for it, and apart from maybe some weird side comments about the Indians, like the Native Americans, I don't really see it in this.
Well, I'm
I didn't even hear those as being incredibly disrespectful. That was more of a, I don't like them.
They're trying to kill me.
I don't really hate them. Yeah, they tried to kill me, so I don't like them, but I don't truly hate them either.
Well, I'm going to mention
this, but it's language of the times.
Well, it's the Cowboys and Indians aspect, which is there.
Culture.
Even he doesn't like the Americans that much either.
Well, he wasn't Confederate.
Well, you guys are talking about the slavery issue. This whole book is shows you how, especially like in a game term, the Dark Sun, where they have the slavery, but it encourages players to be the best player or character they could be by by bringing down this injustice. And so many times throughout this story, he does just that. He goes out of his way where a lot of people would just be like, just moving along, not seeing it. And he goes out of his way to bring down these institutions, built-in institutions worldwide of injustice, and he goes about crushing them and bringing to light and making people understand, whether it be the friendship or the slavery or the other issues that'll come later.
Even treating the animals properly,
right?
Yes,
it was about showing that humanity being the best person you can be, being that noble,
a real hero.
He was essentially saying, if you go nothing for pure pragmatism and honor.
What's that?
What? Sorry, but my first thought that came to mind right after you guys are saying all that. This was made in 1912, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is Superman before Superman was Superman.
Well, of course. But to be fair,
literally, his virtues are the same as Superman. He has the same abilities as Superman when Superman first came out, other than like laser eyes and crossbow, but I don't know how those were put in.
Actually, what is it? 19? Yeah, it's like 30. It's like
20
years later. But the whole point is that this is why we say that this stuff actually sets so many things up for future sci-fi. And
superheroes are pulp. Superheroes are based entirely on pulp. This is known for a very long time.
One of the very first.
Like Batman is based off the Shadow. Like this is like not surprising at all.
Most people attribute Doc Savage to being the inspiration for Superman, but I'm going to go with you, Dark Knight, and saying that he literally is, more like
crafting. It was crafting.
Yeah. But no, I mean, but yeah, no, I agree with you on that. They did.
It's hard when I can't see your faces, guys.
It's all
also
good, man.
like if you look at Galahad, very similar in certain ways, except that he has his flaws to it. He talks about things. I do love some of the descriptions later on, is when he's having to climb up certain things, and it's just like, and when they talk about it, it's because he decides to put a different color to every one of the races. The white Martians, the black Martians. But if you look at it, at the end, he unites them all by getting rid of their terrible leaders that are evil. You've been corrupted.
Your society is bad, but your innate human nature is good.
Or you can become that way, because even with the Tharks, like, remember, what was it? A million years ago or something, we didn't all have to fight like this. It was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was a time where everyone got along, basically, and that was. And he is.
I don't know. I don't trust the Black Martians. They freak me out.
Are they the ones that look like the grasshoppers from Ants?
No, they're the ones that have they're the tree people.
No, those are not the Black Martians.
Aren't they the black? What ones are they then?
The Black Martians are the ones they actually think they're from another planet. They're like these sky pirates that come rappelling down and doing all kinds of, pirating
So the White Martians think that the Black Martians come from another world. The White Martians are manipulating all the Red Martians out in the world. It's so funny, and then you start finding out that they're all led by this evil, corrupt witch. And then he kills her.
The ones were the tree Martians, though. The ones.
No, those were the plant men. The plant men were just called plant men.
Okay, I thought they were.
Man, the more I hear about this,
sorry.
When you start looking at it, and it was really interesting when they're talking about it and how they all fight.
What the
and
hell?
That's why at the end of the third book, when he kills off, I forgot her name, the leader of the Black Martians.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's her.
Those are the plant men.
Well, but when she kills him, when she dies, then they all get freed, and that's when they make him the Jedak of Jedaks. That's when he becomes the warlord of Mars.
What were you saying, crafting? You were trying to say something.
Sorry to give away the next two books for you there. But you know what? It's been out for 100 years. There's no excuse at this point.
I'll probably forget it by
Spoiler
morning anyway.
warning.
But let crafting go. Please continue.
Yeah, my question about the whole ones that look like the grasshoppers from ants. There was in the movie there was Martians that looked like giant fucking bugs.
Yeah, but those are not like the civilized Martians. Those aren't the ones we're talking about.
No, those were just straight monsters by the way.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of really interesting creatures. The 6 or 8-legged lions, these woolly things with bug eyes, these giant birds. There's a lot of brand new critters you'll meet later on down the road.
All I'm going to say on that Shadow is there is a reason why in OD&D the desert is literally called Mars, because this world is so cool. Like, I want to put a desert region where there are just these green Martians going up against these 4-armed white ape men as like 2 major factions. Like, it sounds so cool.
It's Dark Sun. Right. It's basically
so you're gonna jump my next question with the traditional what aspect of this story would you borrow and throw into your game? I'm gonna take that as Dark Knight's answer.
Well, there's more than just that. Okay. But yeah, that'd be a big one.
How about you, TCG? Are you gonna borrow anything from this and import it over to your games?
Oh, probably. I mean, the whole world is interesting in and of itself. The concept of how the green Martians work is dark, but also refreshing in the fact that we had this conversation. I think it was last Friday. A different civilization than what you easily can find on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Completely believable. I could easily see maybe not one as advanced as this, obviously, but one that behaves just like this. Oh yeah.
The Green Men were believable right up to the communism.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
Now
if you're saying communism, but
guys.
I'm just looking at the bottom part of this picture. That's what in my game.
Oh yeah, nice.
But I mean, you have to remember. Go look at the Comanche or some of these others, and they worked more in that kind of aspect.
Well, no.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, it's true. It's how he described it. It isn't like the way he described it to me immediately took me out of the story as this is a communal thing straight to communism is bad.
Well, here's the problem: is like this was written again in 1912. There were no communist states up until
communism was a thing going around in the 1800s, bro.
Yeah, not as an actual government institute. There were no governments
but there was a lot of like activism and like newspapers and if you were a literate person, you knew about the ideology and it going around.
I'm not saying that at all, but to say that that there was any real, they probably thought of these are just a bunch of morons preaching about this stuff. Like, this will never gain any traction. I severely doubt anyone in 1912 would have gone, communism is actually going to form a system of government. Nobody would have said that. Nobody would have believed it.
This was taken. Look at how the Sioux operate. If you look at how they work in a tribal system, the Green Martians are a tribal system. They represent a lot.
Yes, bro, but it's the language he uses, not the
exactly. He doesn't describe it as this is. The best he does is you hold on to the skins until someone else needs them. That's the closest he came to describing it as an actual tribal structure. He described it mostly as everything belongs to everybody unless it's a weapon.
Like, and I didn't get communism. Maybe this is just an American thing, but in Europe, this is just how a lot of people even in Ireland would say this even after communism. Like, I think this is just an American bias that you guys have. That's it.
Like I said,
I know nobody liked it. Sorry,
but I look at Crazy Horse and what he was expected to do, and to me, this was very similar to that whole thing. And I think he's harkening back to the lost parts of, the
Old West
of the Sioux. Yeah, exactly. Because if you look at it, they're wild. they have a lot of those aspects to it. But the same thing of, hey, well, what are they doing? Well, when you created things, you did that. There was still a hierarchy, which
it was an entirely nomadic society, and with the way they viewed life as so harsh and whatnot, it was very much a survival method that seemed to work for them, as opposed to people fighting against one another. They had to work together as a weird team, if you will, to be able to survive the harshest of environments we've ever heard of.
And I will say, I'm not saying this to praise communism at all, and I'm not saying what your thoughts on it are wrong.
Shut up, you commie.
Shh, fuck off. I'm not saying that at all. What you glean from the book is what you glean from the book. I'm just saying I didn't get that at all. I just got this was just a tribal society.
Well, two things. He could have.
Where did Omenal go?
He might have had
to go. He said earlier he had to go.
Oh, yeah.
Because of his knee. So anyway.
Justin said it right earlier. It could have been worded better.
That's true.
And another thing, when it comes to the American thing, unfortunately, I know a lot of people didn't like the movie, but Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull said it best. They have us seeing communists in our soup.
Look, I'm not saying that Americans' reaction to communism was unjustified. As far as I'm concerned, McCarthy didn't punish enough communists, as far as I'm concerned. I'm as far from a pinko as you can get, man.
Shut up, you commie.
That's just what a communist would say.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Let's try to get back on track.
Okay. Wait. Before we go on, we're gonna create. Once we're done this cop game, we're gonna create our own version of Top Secret. It's gonna be called Pinko.
All right, Justin, I'm gonna let you go.
We're just gonna rip off the entire game, just like.
Touche. What did you take from this?
What did you dislike the most about this, Justin?
There wasn't enough boobs.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair. That is fair.
I think we can all get behind that.
Bring back up that picture I showed earlier. You can't. I don't have it up there.
Okay. All right.
Unless you have it somewhere.
TCG, how about you? Was there something about this that you just didn't like?
The scene with him being all idiotic. I mean, I understand that he got the girl in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, him wanting to destabilize an entire planet for one woman made me go, okay, you were really smart before.
Dude.
I see no one's had sex recently.
I didn't actually get any of that, but okay. Yeah, there you go.
Well, here's the thing. If she had gone through with the marriage, there would have been a forced peace.
Fuck that shit.
Oh, yeah. I forget.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Fuck that. Boom.
She didn't want that. She was, she didn't want that. You know what I mean? So that to me, that's only a little bit better than, a snuggle struggle. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm gonna say though, it's kind of like
rape you.
I mean, it's kind of like how Lyanna Stark basically caused the Civil War because she wanted to play princess with the fucking crown prince. She, like, as far as I'm concerned, those two are directly responsible for everyone that dies in the Civil War. And everyone who then died after that because of what the Lannisters did, because they wouldn't have gotten into power. So destabilizing an entire country is not a smart idea.
I think their dad is responsible for being a douche weasel that let it happen, and then allowing his son to take Tyrion's girlfriend and have her gang raped in the court.
No, I'm talking about Rhaegar Targaryen. This is long before Tyrion.
Are you guys talking about Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm
Yeah, the original.
I'm pretending to be Omen right now. Dark Knight. What did you dislike about this the most?
Nothing really jumps out to me apart from maybe
I
this
just
is a
like the
mild
pro-communism.
criticism. The amount of time he spent trying to figure out like Martians, like trying to like basically the fact that there was this massive barrier to speaking, which makes sense. Because they're entirely different species. I don't know. I'm having a hard time picking anything that I actually hated. So I'm just gonna shrug and say,
Good for
"Oh,
you. Good for you. Good for you. Because I think I'm a little biased here, but I think this is the best one we've read so
Can you
far.
come back to me for a minute?
Yeah,
oh
sure.
yeah, sure, go for it."
Like you said, he learned the language really quickly. There's a lot of hand wavy with skill learning in this book, right? But at the same
Yeah,
time, it is a juvenile story, so
yeah.
I
I
don't know if
mean,
I go
yeah,
juvenile. I just think more,
simplistic.
more of like a fairy tale.
yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean, like. And then he
Oh
knew how
yeah,
to do that, and then
yeah,
he knew how to do that, and then he knew how
yeah.
to
Like
do that.
flying. I'm sorry. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I totally agree
like
with
he
you
just
there.
picks up. Like I think my point was that like there was a lot of things. Yeah, maybe that he learned to like that they were wowed by his jumping and he's just the bestest at fighting all that, like, and I do like it, but it's just kind of like maybe he's just a little too good at everything.
and every time he needs to know something, there's just like someone there that will teach him how to do it between scenes.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I look for me. I look at it like this. Okay, the guy who's going to get to hook up with the absolute apogee of womankind on a planet better be like this guy.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
but
That is
still, like
fair.
you want some struggle in the story. Like I understand
There
that
was plenty of it, but you're right. There was a lot of hand wavy with the language, with the flying.
with just about everything. Like,
There was also
Yeah,
weird time jumps. Like,
yeah,
well,
oh
that,
yeah,
yeah,
that
it
was
took
a
me
bit
this many
odd.
weeks. It took me this X amount of time to learn the language, and then we skip back to just 3 days after he started the last paragraph or last chapter.
yeah.
I didn't notice
Or,
that.
Yeah,
well, there
For
are
me,
flies that
Learning the
can
language, he said it took him like a week or two or something like that to learn it,
to
and then after
learn the
that,
basics of it. Yeah,
and then after the next, literally the next chapter, he says 3 days after I got here.
Mm.
yeah, the time jumping was a
Yeah,
little
I
odd.
remember
Like,
that, but
Well, you got to remember that it was originally a serialized thing, so like the
yeah,
time jumping
that's
would be
fair.
Yeah,
Like,
for me, there
I'm
was
not
only
admittedly,
one
I
criticizing
thing.
it. That's a
one at a time, one at a
nitpick.
time.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's a mild nitpick, to be honest, because everything else is good.
For me, there was only
I,
one thing I didn't like.
Well,
Cantos Can should have been the guy to kill uh, the guy that was going to marry Deja Thoris. He should have been the guy. Instead of him getting locked in a cell while all the action's taking place, he's sitting there rotting in a cell. The two had this great plan. They were going to do, they were going to do this thing together to rescue the princess. And Cantos gets captured, thrown in a cell, and John Carter gets to go off and do that stuff. He should have come in because he was the only one who knew and understood the rules and the traditions, how John couldn't kill that guy.
Yeah,
yeah,
If he had done it, he would have ruined his chance for life, and he knew it. And he was right there. It's like, I'm going to do it for you because I get it. You don't even have to ask me. I already know. I'm there. I'm your dude.
I'm your bro.
you
I'm your
remember?
bro.
You
The ultimate
remember?
wingman.
You
He's literally willing to kill the guy in your way so you can hook up with the girl. The ultimate wingman, Cantos Can.
you remember the story I tell you about the billboard,
Mhm.
the release
Mm,
billboard?
Mhm.
Okay, so there's a bill, like they have one of those billboards like just up the street from me, and they had the billboard for the movie, right?
John Carter.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
John Carter, and this was the billboard for the first week.
Hold on.
Yeah, Right, this billboard was up there with the date. This was the picture for 1 week, cool. And then when they decided to drop the picture, they brought. Give me a second. I have to switch the image. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I clicked it. Keeps on clicking.
Yeah, okay. This image.
They replaced it with that.
What one is going to bring you into the theater? And this is why people say they killed it in marketing, because they took down that other image like after 5-6 days and put up and left it up for a month.
While I am a sucker for black and red, I cannot deny. Yeah, that's just generic. That's generic and boring and bland. The other one looked cool.
The other one tells you what you're going to go see.
Yeah,
that one tells you
nothing.
A couple of words and a logo.
And think about, you know, out of the entire world's population that goes to the movies, okay, you're talking at such a microscopic minority of people who would go, "Oh, John Carter! Oh, awesome! I've been waiting my whole life to see this."
It's not even the name of the series. Right? Like. Mm-hmm. I understand that they renamed it. They renamed it after the last book in the fucking series. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's like the first one gives you like an idea of what's going to happen, a spectacle. Like, what the hell is that thing? What the fuck is that thing? And why is that guy writing it?
Yeah.
Where the other one is like, it's a good title or end sequence for a commercial, but not a billboard.
People keep wishing me happy birthday today. Today's not my birthday. It's not my birthday today, man.
Shut up, bro. It is now.
But thank you, Brian. We're about to wrap up we're about to wrap up the show conversation. You know, as in the book club. If you want to come in, the link's over in.
I love the comment though.
Happy birthday, you old top of my Discord, bro.
You know, the funniest part is I'm actually preparing a gift for Shadow.
Well, thank you, brother. You don't need to do that. I still owe you, man.
Yeah, and. Brian, it's not birthday, it's birth decade. He's so old, he counts by decade.
All right,
I don't think he counts by decades anymore. I think he counts by centuries.
Eon, epoch. He counts by epoch.
Millennium.
All right, guys. Last question about about this book. Who are you going to recommend it to first?
You. I don't think you read it.
Or are you going to recommend it if anybody ever brings it up?
I actually will. I actually will recommend this to someone. Probably some of my colleagues at work.
I think it should be adapted to a children's book and sent to daycares. But with more graphic nudity. Because that's what left us.
Because
that's the only way you're going to get it into grade schools.
Look,
is with the
nudity. No,
no. Did you hear what I said? That's the only way you're going to get it in.
Yeah, you're probably right on that account for all the wrong reasons.
Yes, agreeing with liberals for all the wrong reasons. Good, great song.
Oh God!
Have you ever heard that song?
Thanks. You reminded me of that stupid shit again. Thanks. Remind me of the Slaneshi cultists. Thanks. That's great.
How about you, TCG? You gonna recommend this one out to your friends?
I'll say what I do for any book I'd recommend. The only people I could recommend this to have already read it.
Yeah.
Later on down the road, hopefully you'll meet some people, you bump into somebody.
But yeah, in general, yes, I would invite this. I would, if someone was saying, "Hey, I want a good book." Hey, have you read John Carter? Have you read A Princess of Mars yet? Excuse me, I have to say it right.
Barsoon. Have you read Barsoon?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this again. All those G strings and nipple pasties. No, that's what I wasn't. That's not what I was gonna say. That's what Brian was gonna say. I was going to say, so far out of all the books we've reviewed, this one's my favorite. I think this one, even though Amber goes way back with a a really close friend of mine, good friend
Whose
of mine.
pick was this one?
Mine.
Oh, sorry.
So is my pick next?
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing book 2.
Really?
No,
Nice.
I haven't thought of anything. I forgot it was my pick. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can come around later. Yeah, I think
No. People seem to be saying nice. We might as well just do book 2 then.
Well, I was going to say,
would have no problem with that.
Yeah.
you guys are awesome.
I'll
consider that
reread
my birthday gift from you guys. How's that?
I'll reread Princess of Mars from the start and finish
epoch,
it, and then
day.
and then I'll move on to the second one. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, because I was bummed. I'm like, oh my god! Now I mean, some of the other books I went and listened
Look,
to.
Shadow. One, this book is old enough that spoiler warnings need not be warranted. And number 2, I am of the firm opinion that anyone who gets upset from books or any media that for spoiler territory, a piece of media that requires the mystery to maintain to be good is not a good story, and you need to just get over it. So
Yes.
my stance is spoiler away.
Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time.
Yep, and spoiler alert: Bruce Willis is a shit actor.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Everything he's in is dog shit. I'm sorry. I don't take that fucking
He is
credit.
now. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because half his brain has turned to goulash, and he's had a stroke. So yeah.
Have you ever seen Colors of Night?
No, and I don't think I want to. I want to.
I recommend you watch it,
pleasure.
and I think you would enjoy pausing during the pool scene.
Perhaps.
I know Shadow does.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, this one, it beat all the other books we read so far. Just with, it wasn't depressing. It wasn't too complicated. It was nice, good old fashioned hack and slash romance, chases, escapes. It had a princess in it. It had.
I know. You said that of the
you were
comparing it to
man.
To the I know we compared this to Conan earlier, but honestly, it was actually a good contrast to Amber. To be perfectly honest, like Corwin is not a good guy. None of them are, apart from maybe Benedict, and Random at the end. But the rest of them, they're dickheads.
Yeah, they are. Even Corwin is. Yeah, there's one.
He is dubious at best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're all selfish, immoral bastards.
Oh yeah, and that's having a character who's just
dude. Get out of my head, man. Get out of my head. I was gonna say we were talking about Bruce Willis. I was gonna say Last Man Standing, probably my favorite Bruce Willis movie. And I love Pulp Fiction, but I thought he was awful.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Last Man Standing.
Pulp Fiction was ruined for me because of Willis. I hated him in that film.
Really, I used to watch Pulp Fiction every Sunday with my mom.
You need to ban this guy. You need to ban this guy. You need to ban this guy.
You know what's great? I hold true to my opinions, but the fact that it's also annoying Justin is a nice bonus.
You need to ban this guy. First his opinions on Batman, now his opinions on
Hey,
Bruce Willis.
look, they persecuted Jesus for speaking the truth.
Yeah, well, Jesus should have been persecuted.
How dare you?
How do I put you in timeout?
The only way Burton's Batman would have been better is if instead of Keaton, he had hired Bruce Willis.
No, I'm just gonna say bat nipples are great, are base, and all who hate them are cringe. That's all I'm gonna say.
Men should not have nipples. If I could snap my fingers right now and men would no longer have nipples. The Bat credit card
was hilarious.
That would be a good thing.
The Bat credit card was hilarious, and you guys is just haters.
You need to stop living on 4chan.
I don't even use 4chan, dipshit.
No, they just plug a wire into your head, and that's where 4chan comes from.
Okay, I'm getting a psychic vision. I see in the future a show that stars just Justin and Dark Knight.
No,
are you out there with me?
I can't handle that levels of autism.
I think we might actually break the universe if we did that, because we'd just slug it out forever.
But you would still be wrong.
No. See, here's the thing.
Like
He is the unstoppable force, and I'm in the immovable object. No matter how wrong I am, I'm always right.
The other way around. Because have you seen Justin? He doesn't move.
Yeah.
But
he's glued to that chair. Don't
ask.
That
is true.
Even when I go to the bathroom, the chair comes with me.
No, you just have a pee bottle underneath it. That's all.
Well, that covers half of it.
Oh, I should have mentioned that. I can run. I can run plumbing.
Well, he could literally do what one gamer did. Literally had a toilet set up for his gaming seat.
Yeah, and then he stood up and died of a heart attack. I'm not even joking. That has happened quite a few times. People have played games for like 2, 3, 4 days straight, and when they stood up, their hearts just stopped because they couldn't handle the stress, and they just died.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. It does happen.
I have sex too often for that to happen.
You don't have sex.
Yes, I do. You don't have sex.
I love you guys.
No, see, Justin, that's how I know, right? I look at a virgin every day, and I'm looking at one in the screen.
Man, you don't have a camera on. How can you be doing that?
Wow, Justin, I thought I was a spurg, but just
yeah, I got what you're saying, but it's wrong. Like, everybody knows me.
Yeah, Justin, explaining the joke doesn't make it funnier.
No. Autism.
Yes, it's great.
Autism.
It's my ultimate weapon. It is my ultimate weapon.
It's your ultimate curse,
Hold on. Who's got hundreds of Pine air fresheners just off screen?
Oh,
you?
Hey, Shadow.
I don't need to because I shower every day.
Go ahead, TCG. Let's give these guys a minute to breathe.
Does Jackie watch these shows or check out your personal Discord?
Oh, God, no. No.
I am going to send you a couple pictures.
Nice.
These aren't perverted. Don't get your hopes up.
Oh, man. I thought we were friends.
Yeah. Like, why would you hurt us that way?
Oh, hook a brother up, man. Come on.
Put them in the group. Don't have the internet.
Put them in the group chat. It doesn't matter if you have the internet. It's nice to have things you haven't seen before.
Come on, say hi to everybody. Come on, say hi to everybody.
Oh, we seeing El Doge? Oh, beautiful doggy.
He is the best.
So where are you putting these images?
And he asked me to put them in the group chat. They're a miniature I want to send Shadow as a birthday present, Christmas present for Jackie.
Oh, hey,
nice.
Do you mind? I'm doing something.
The book club.
You have no idea how much I want to open this box and look at it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it sealed, but you have no idea how much I want to
open it. You coward! Just reseal it. He won't know.
Yeah, like, why will he care if it's been opened and
looked at? Yeah.
Yeah. Why would he care if it's been opened, imprinted into some blue stuff, and molded? Do you have blue stuff, bro?
Wait, where did you send it?
No. I put it in the
group chat for... It's in my show, not yours.
Oh, okay.
The wrong group chat.
I don't know which one it is, so I just put one in hope.
You put it in the Reckless Rants group chat. It's okay. You can find it. He's in there.
Nice.
It's the. Are you in my show's group chat, Dark Knight?
I'm not. No.
No. Okay. I will copy and send it to you.
Thank you. Let's see here. But yeah, no. Probably if I for my next book, I might either pick a Lovecraft story like The Dream Quests or maybe Guns of Avalon. Maybe if I had to pick something.
I'm listening to that.
Yeah,
I'm also
Guns of Avalon.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying. I have a couple of pictures. This is my first attempt at doing some serious sculpting with green stuff.
I don't know what this means, W. I don't know what this
Copy
means.
image.
Oh man. Oh, God.
It's not letting me do that.
Do what?
Send the image to Dark Knight.
Let me see. Maybe let me just check something.
No, it's saying you need Nitro. The file's too large.
Oh, okay.
Shadow,
I thought maybe I might have blocked you ages ago or something. Let me just check.
Yeah.
Shadow, if you want, I can.
No, I didn't. I actually didn't. If I blocked you, it would be my friend. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I rarely block people. So I just thought maybe I did it by accident ages ago, and then I don't completely spaced out on it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add you to the group for a minute.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sweet. Thank you.
Sorry, Brian. Yeah, I wish he talked to me,
Wow.
but no. I mean, he does in his own way. And does he have Lady Radar?
Oh, those Tyranids are cool.
I don't know. He never goes out. So
Yeah. Who are you talking about?
Brian, he said, does he talk to you and have Lady Radar too? And he was talking about Chewie.
Oh.
So, guys, we're gonna end it here because we have beat this one to death. But if you want to stick around for a couple of minutes afterward, you're more than welcome because I'm gonna say a couple things. But everybody out there who watched, guess what? We're gonna do part 2 next. 2 weeks to get through it, and you know what? That's actually kind of nice, you guys, because that gives Grandma a chance to come in and you know give her opinion on the what she missed because I know she's like a really big fan of John Carter as well. So that'll be nice that she gets a a second chance at this one and doesn't have to wait like 6 months, a year to get to the sequel because I know she's listening to it and I'll let her know in just a moment because she lost her power again.
Oh, damn.
So once again, she's throwing out everything in her refrigerator, and she's not super far from me, same state, and it's happened to her.
How long's her power? Like, tell her just to keep the fridge closed. She doesn't have to do that.
It's going to be a couple of days.
Yeah, no. As long as the fridge is kept closed,
it won't. The cold will stay inside of it for a while.
It will stay inside. Like, just pull. Like, know what you're pulling out and pull it out, and then
close it again.
And then close it again quick.
We've had
weird World War II.
And then lean heavy on meat for the next couple of days.
Yeah. Weird World War II says he's recommending A Boy and His Dog. I will say, I've seen the film. Is it on the list? I don't think so, no. It's not on Appendix N, but it's still good.
He was just making a dog reference because of my dog.
Yeah, fair enough. No, but I will say, Harlan Ellison, great writer. From what I've read of him, shitty human being.
Yeah, thank God he's not on the list. That's all I get to say.
I would be a hard pass on those weeks.
Yeah, I would be sick that day. Just saying.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
I have no mouth that I'm a scream is dark. That book is dark.
Yeah. Well, Roddenberry hated him because he brought Roddenberry on to write was it City on the Edge of Forever or whatever it was?
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember. Was that the right episode?
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to make the whole episode about drug use and like degeneracy and all that. And, that's one of the darkest episodes in the series. Like originally, the reason why McCoy is all like freaked out like that is because he's supposed to be hopped up on space drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he accidentally injected himself with something.
Yeah. But intentionally, he's supposed to like secretly have an addiction problem. And it's like, why are you adding stuff into the canon when it's supposed to be a utopian story?
What show was this?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Oh, all right. I never watched an episode of Star Trek before, so.
Yeah, the original series, and it's why he didn't keep coming back is because
When you put a story that's unabashedly like pro-America, and you meet a guy who's like anti-America, it's not surprising that they were going to clash.
The show isn't pro-America; it's pro like utopian generally. Like everyone's supposed to be getting along, and we're supposed to be moving past our differences and stuff like that. And
at least Earthlings are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from what little I've seen of it, like the Kirk era seems to be like
that's the Kirk era, right?
Yeah, but even like Picard was very much like communist utopian bullshit. Like it was very propagandistic with that kind of stuff. From what little I've seen of it,
the Next Generation.
The Next Generation, yeah.
That's one of the mistakes with that is like that's one case where they're not like actually enforcing like communist ideals. It's actually like a post-scarcity society. It's not like everyone's working for the greater good. It's everyone doesn't have to worry about need anymore.
Anything. Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why I like the Quark and his type. I know that a lot of people go, oh, the Ferengi before Quark were so much better. It's like, no, before they were just wild fucking animals.
They actually have real personality. They were kind of like they're very much like goblin-esque. They
were just they were goblins. They were kind
our
of like
good buddy Beelzebub would say pivot.
They were basically just big-eared Klingons, in my opinion.
What's the pivot?
It's like, oh, you've already got this super aggressive race. Why do you need another? And then they bring Quark on as they aren't aggressive, they are greedy, which made them much better.
The clips I've seen of Quark are just so. One of the funniest ones is when he's debating with the Vulcan about logic, and like it's just so funny. We're just they have weapons, you have weapons, everyone has weapons, but right now no one has a clear advantage. So the price of peace is at an all-time low. Yeah, one of the funniest ones was like war is great for peace is great for profit, and then the very next rule of acquisition is war is also great for profit.
Have you ever read the rules of acquisition?
I've seen some of them. I haven't read them all.
I've been looking for a physical copy of that book.
Oh no, it's not a real book.
They're on YouTube. They're on YouTube. They have all the ones that have been listed.
I've heard you could find all the rules. That's why I would.
No, because they're not all listed. There's a couple of gaps in the list.
Yeah, that's the problem. They didn't list them all, which is unfortunate.
But yeah, one of my favorite Quark moments. Do you know who the Grand Nagus is, Dark Knight?
He's like their leader, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. He played Vicini in Princess Bride.
Yeah, I love that actor so much. He's so funny.
Yeah,
my favorite scene is with Rom. Quark's dumb. I mean, by Ferengi standards, a complete retard. He's not good with money. But the Nagus during money.
He's moral. He's moral.
Yeah, that is a good way of putting it.
I just sent you both the rules of acquisition.
Nice. I'll have to check those out. The Nagus had
I should send it to Shadow because he wants to start a business. He'll need them.
The Nagus had a forgot exactly why, but he had a moment of where he trusted people more than he should, and he trusted Rom with literally all his finances. So Rom laundered a bunch of money from the Nagus, and Quark's like, "You laundered money from the Nagus? Father would be proud."
Yeah, I remember this. I remember seeing this.
Shadow, when you open your store, I expect right next, like right behind your seat by the register, to be like the entire list of the rules of acquisition.
Yeah,
just so like customers can like be buying stuff and see like rule number 1: if you're not ripping off your customer, you're not doing business.
I mean, number 10. I love this is that they literally say in number 10, greed is eternal, as if that's a good thing. It's like, oh god.
Yeah. Okay, so like whatever.
Never place friendship above profit. That I kind of like. I kind of like that.
Yeah, and you greet every customer with, "How are you doing, my friend?"
Oh god. They are. That's kind of why I like the Ferengi. They're basically It's kind of like how Rorschach in Watchmen was meant to be like the most hated character and everyone loved him, but the Ferengi were like basically like a communist, like this is capitalists are evil. Let's make them despair. And then everyone ends up liking them because they're just such a meme, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Sorry, rule number 1 is once you have their money, you never give it back.
Yep.
That means no refunds.
Yeah, Rule 34, war is good for business. Rule 35, peace is good for business. It's like, oh, they're so stupid. Never trust a man wearing a better suit than your own. No, 47. That one's number 47.
No, they skip over Rule 42.
Oh, do they? Oh, what's Rule 42?
It's blank. There's no space there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Free advice is seldom cheap. That's very true.
Oh, Rule 68 was crossed
Rule 69. You're not responsible for the stupidity of others.
What?
You cut out there.
Ferengi are not responsible for the stupidity of other races.
Very true. Very, very
That's
true.
Rule 69.
In other words, get fucked.
Yeah.
75 is a good one.
Technology
Home is where the
profit.
heart is, but the stars are made of latinum.
Yeah. That's funny. Work is the best therapy, at least for your employees.
I like 76. Every once in a while, declare peace. It confuses.
Your enemies. Beware of the Vulcan greed for knowledge. That is very true.
I wouldn't say that. I would say exploit the Vulcan greed for knowledge.
True. Now this one is just generally good advice. Vengeance will cost you everything. You know, that is actually very good advice.
What number is it?
That one is 88.
88. Well, 88 is a good number.
Yeah.
122 is another good one.
What he pays
Never
you.
sleep with the boss's sister. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just being smart, bro. What one was that?
It's the best place to sleep.
Oh, they actually have it too.
Oh, I love this one.
Never sleep with the boss's sister. And they also have here never have sex with the boss's sister. It's on here twice. 94.
Wow. Yeah, 94. Females and finances don't mix.
Don't.
Do with that one what you will, boys.
It's true. 108. There's 208s.
Hope doesn't keep the lights on. Yeah.
I like the second one.
98.
Woman wearing clothes like a man without any profits.
If you can't take it with you, go.
Oh. Only a fool.
It's like I already know all of these.
Retail.
Yeah.
141. Only a fool pays retail.
There is no honor in poverty.
The final rule, 400 and 431.
431.
When the shooting starts, let the mercenaries handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I like 144.
I love this one. 299. Whenever you exploit someone, it never hurts to thank them. That way it's easier to exploit them the next time.
Oh, 299 you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more time they take deciding, the more money they will spend. 293, that,
Yeah. 293.
It's 293.
291. The less employees know about the cash flow, the smaller the share they can demand.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't none of their damn business.
Yeah.
Employees. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to shut the show down because the battery's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll meet up in about 2 weeks then.
Yeah, but stick
Yeah.
around just for a minute.
Mhm.
And everybody else out there in TV land,
Party on.
you guys. But today's Thursday, so I might do a show tomorrow. Otherwise, I
Tomorrow
will-
afternoon, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning over on Justin's show at 9 a.m.
Week 6 of Big Stompy Robots.
Yeah, yeah.
It means you only have a week left to finish your story.
Did you read it yet?
No.
I finished it.
Yeah.
I was going to read it when I got finished with my book.
I haven't
but then I
finished
had
mine.
to do the Mars story. So
I finished it with a week and a day to spare. I'm going to chalk it up to a win and start working on something else before next week. So, I always have more than a dozen things on my freaking list of things to do. But everybody else out there, crafting, you doing anything?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I still have to get a new computer. Like, I've double checked several times. It still lets me do live streams just fine. Recording, actually, I haven't. I don't know if it actually recorded audio differently recently. I have to double check that. But
You sure it's not your memory? Do you have like stuff filling your?
oh, my memory is mostly full to the point that when I get a new computer, plus there's things on this that I don't want transferring over to the new computer because I ended up with a virus of a virus protector.
That's odd. Yeah. Remember, new computer. You get rid of Norton and what's the other one? McPhee right away. You don't need them.
All right,
Norton
guys.
and McPhee are useless.
I will see you guys in a little while. Stick around for the after party, and I'm